folks keeping the barbarians from the gate.
I got into the labor movement not because I wanted to negotiate wages. I got into the labor movement because I saw it as a vehicle to do massive social change to include lots of people.
Let's take these son of a out and give America back to America where we belong. Thank you very much. Thank you.
As far as I'm concerned, the Tea Party can go straight to hell.
I am a real American. Fight for the rights of every man. I am a real American. Fight for what's right. Fight for your rights.
Hey, welcome back into the show today, everybody. You're listening to Your Defending Fathers here on the Patriot Voice Radio Network. We appreciate you being part of the show today. Text line is open 231-360-5140, as well as Facebook chat messages are always open. We appreciate you liking our Facebook page, facebook.com/Your Defending Fathers. Going to put out there for you supporting State Senator Patrick Kobach to be the next governor of the state of Michigan. The rear window sticker signs, making your vehicle a mobile billboard, if you will. 13 inches tall, 32 inches wide, will fit on all rear windows. Pickup trucks, minivans, SUVs, cars, whatever type of vehicle you drive out there. And if you want to send an email to us, patriotvoice2012-2012 Again, patriotvoice2012-gmail.com. We'll send you the information on how you can obtain one of those window stickers and support Patrick Kobach for governor. We're going to talk about a race going on down in the Wham listening area, the 11th Congressional District. And we're going to have a guest on in the next segment to talk about it, about how that race is starting to get down and dirty. We've already seen the controversy over Senator Kobach running for governor, telling the truth about the Muslim Brotherhood and the connections to one of the Democrat candidates, Muslim Abdul El-Sayed, and the media going crazy on that issue. But right now in the 11th Congressional District race, we have two veterans that are running, and one of them wants to attack the other veteran in the race. And he actually wants to question whether or not this veteran actually served in Vietnam. Now, this person, Kerry Bentivolio, has put his DD-214 discharge form on both his Facebook page and his website, which describes in detail his military service. But one of his opponents, who is also a veteran, is attacking Kerry's military service. And for the life of me, I don't know why he would want to do that other than for political gain. And I'm sorry, but somebody who totally respects the military, both my father and father-in-law served in World War II. My father was shot by a German soldier, and we have the medal from the bullet that was melted down into an eagle with a purple ribbon on it. It's very serious to me when you attack somebody's military service. And I'm sorry, I do not appreciate when the media does it, and I surely don't appreciate it when a fellow candidate, a fellow veteran does it. So we're going to have Kerry Bentivolio out to respond to these accusations made by one of his opponents, simply, in my opinion, for political gain. Now, we are in a situation right here, right now, in our state, that these political campaigns are heating up. I get that. But we are not going to get down and dirty attacking a fellow veteran's military service. Not going to happen. I'm Chuck and Randy. We're going to take a break. A word from our show sponsors. We'll be back with candidate Kerry Bentivolio, who's running for the 11th Congressional District. Hey everybody, it's Trucker Randy. We got a Well Connect unit installed in our house on December 1st, 2017. In the first 3 months, we heated our home using our well water and saved almost 400 gallons of propane during one of the coldest winters ever. A 20-amp circuit breaker powers the Well Connect unit with less electricity than running a handheld blow dryer, about $55 a month. And during these last few mild days, our propane furnace hasn't even ran. So call Well Connect today at 989-356-2113 or check out their website at wellconnectsaves.com. Even after the bank financing 100% of the cost and installation of the unit, we're saving a ton of money, and we won't need any more propane until next year. Also, ask about the rebates and federal tax credit too. Again, call them today at 989-356-2113. We love our Well Connect unit. We wish we had gotten it sooner. Hey, welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm Trucker Randy. You're listening to Your Defending Fathers here on the Patriot Voice Radio Network. We're joined now by fellow defending father, Kerry Bentivolio, former congressman running to be reelected to the seat that he held previously. Kerry, welcome into the show this morning.
Hi, Randy, and thanks for having me on today. This is great.
Well, I wanted to have you on because I've been seeing some stuff on social media. I've been hearing people talking about what people have said, what other candidates are saying out there on the campaign trail. You're running to get the Republican nomination to be on the ballot in November for the 11th Congressional District race, a seat that you held previously. And one of your opponents is out there attacking your military service. And I wanted to have you on today. You posted your DD 214 discharge papers, not only on your social media sites I've seen, but also websites to show clearly to the public exactly your military service record and everything that you were acknowledged from the military when you were discharged. Why would anybody attack your record or question whether or not you ever served in Vietnam?
Well, that's the unfortunate part of running for office is people will say a lot of things that aren't true, or they'll distort things that are true, or they will tell outright lies. And if you're running for public office, you're considered a famous person. So it's pretty hard to sue unless there's malicious intent. So you kind of have to either have the money to fight it and tell people about it, and or just ignore it. But some things you can't ignore, especially this. It kind of opens up an old wound for anybody who served in Vietnam when people are out there making you feel unwelcome and unappreciated for your service. And that kind of opens up a wound. And I'm very, very upset about that. Why would another veteran attack a fellow veteran on the war record, or his service record? And that's very, very upsetting. And if you fight back, they say, you're being vindictive, you're all kinds of things. And that's not true. You're just fighting to get the facts heard and show people this guy is a liar and he's misrepresenting the truth. And so I was forced to post my record online, and the official record, if anybody is in the military, is called the DD Form 214. Now, we redacted my Social Security number, but those are the facts. I have nothing to hide. You can hook me up to a lie detector, and I'll tell you whatever. I'll answer truthfully. As a member of Congress, my first rule was never lie. So
Yeah.
Some people, I guess, that's how you get elected, is by lying.
Let me ask you a very simple question that will, as far as I'm concerned, because I've asked other veterans this question, VFW halls, different American Legions, and things like that. When you served in Vietnam, where did you actually physically serve? What area of the region of Vietnam, what city or major landmark would we recognize as regular folks that may not know our history all that well? Where did you actually serve in Vietnam?
Well, there's the southern part, not in and around Saigon, which would be Long Binh, Bearcat. There's a couple other places, but mainly my last 3 months after I got out of the infantry, they moved me to the 3rd Ordnance Battalion in Long Binh, which is not far from Bien Hoa. A lot of soldiers will recognize the names Long Binh and Bien Hoa. Mm-hmm. And the last 3 months, I counted bullets at the Long Binh ammo dump, right? Yep. But for the first 9 months of my tour, I was an infantry rifleman, and I just like to tell people I did a lot of guard duty, right? And have a combat infantry badge, and that's one of the awards. One of my opponents said, well, he called Fort Benning, Georgia, and they said I didn't have one. Well, you don't call, anybody knows in the military you don't call Fort Benning, Georgia, and ask them about a combat infantry badge. Right. All you have to do is ask me politely and respectfully, and I'll give you a copy of show you a copy of my records. And, in order to get official government records, I think it's still Fort Benjamin Harris out of Indiana. Right. And in order for, just so the regular folks know, in order to get VA benefits, you have to have a DA Form 214 with honorable, discharged under honorable conditions in order to get any benefits. I mean, there's some other variations, but if you have a dishonorable one or something like that, and you don't have a DD Form 214, you'll be held to pay to get any type of VA benefits or any type of military benefits whatsoever.
Right, and you have received military benefits.
Yeah, and I'm also, the VA gave me a 70% disability for my neck injury in Iraq when I was medevaced out. So, yeah, this is all, stuff that your opponents or my opponents don't want anybody to know because, a lot of people support veterans and because we do the right thing. Yep. We were taught in the military 27 years, lead by example, do the right thing. And I jokingly told some folks, I said, you never lie to your troops. And they said, why not? I said, because they all have guns. Right? And also, if you lie to your troops or I was a platoon sergeant, you lie to your troops, they're not going to respect you and you're not going to get anything done. Yeah. And so 27 years, it's about honor, service, duty to country, that kind of thing. And that's what I believed in. And to have some fellow veteran go around telling people things that are totally untrue just to get votes is totally reprehensible. I've asked nicely to stop. I sent a letter. I've asked people in the military who know that my opponent and ask him to stop, and he's not done so. So at this point, I'm kind of lost for words. How are we going to stop this from happening? Because it's very hurtful. Are you at this point contemplating contacting an attorney and finding out what your legal rights are? That's something that I would really like to avoid because it's not good for anybody. Right. But there's a lot of veterans out there that I know whose names are inscribed on the Vietnam War Memorial. There's Vietnam veterans that still feel the pain. I mean, excuse me, but I don't know if you remember. I walked and bicycled to Washington D.C. to protest 300,000 veterans that died waiting for VA health care. Yeah, and we lose 20 veterans a day to suicide. I think those are the issues that we need to focus on rather than impugning or disputing somebody's war record. Yeah. Those things are things we should be focusing on. I walked 575 miles to protest it. We got 26 newspaper, radio, and television stories about it. Interviewed by Hannity, Donald Trump came out. Our wonderful president came out and said, we're going to make VA healthcare the best healthcare in the world, and we're going to make the VA accountable, and he did that.
Yeah.
You know, it's easier to fire the VA, and I'm just sick over the way our veterans were treated when they came home from Vietnam and are still treated. And every time I know there's people out there that what we call fake heroes or something, whatever, stolen honor, those type of people.
Right.
But if you're a veteran, you know what it's like, and you can quickly tell who these people are. But that doesn't seem to matter to one of my opponents. So I'm very, very upset about it. I don't know what to do. You give me some advice here, I'd appreciate it.
Well, one of the things I think that can be done, and I know that you guys, don't you have a debate or a public forum coming up here soon with your opponents?
Yeah, May 14th at 7:00. But at this point, I just like, by law, you have to, if you slander or libel somebody, you have to go to each person you made the utterance and tell them you were wrong and apologize and set the record straight.
Right.
We've asked that to happen. And, it's ignored because, egos sometimes, in politics, egos are a big thing.
We're talking with candidate Kerry Bentivolio for the 11th Congressional District race. Kerry, you said on the 14th, that's a week from Monday. Where is that forum or debate going to be held at?
Yeah, it's put on by the Michigan Conservative Coalition. Imagine Theater in Novi off of, 696 and Novi Road in the little shopping center there. Imagine Theater. All the candidates will be there. A lot of good questions. We won the last 2 straw polls there. We're looking to win again. And because I am the best choice, because it's the real deal. We cut government spending. We got a 100% rating for that, second most transparent member of Congress. And I want to build the wall, just like Trump. And so I want to go back and support a lot of his issues and help him get things moving in our country and to make America great again.
One of the things I think that is pretty important is for veterans especially who are listening to this interview and understanding what's going on, especially if you are folks in the 11th Congressional District and you're able to attend that event there in Novi, Imagine Theater on Monday, May the 14th. I would call you out to say, listen, you need to attend this event and you need to challenge this other individual, a veteran who's attacking Kerry's service, and calling him out on it publicly, Kerry, because I think that would be the right thing for people to do.
Well, you're right, and I understand that, and that's good advice. However, in the military, when you have a soldier who's maybe not doing the right thing, we don't like to expose our dirty laundry in public, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so that's the kind of, we like to clean things up in-house, and it's not good for the Republican Party to be disloyal to another Republican's service record or something like that, because it doesn't do any good for the party or the individual. So, yeah, you're right, but I would rather keep it, well, now we're on the air about it, so it's kind of mute, excuse me.
Right.
I'm a little choked up about this because it's
well, you should be. You should be. I mean, here you are serving your country, a couple different tours, all the accommodations that you've received, and then to be challenged by a fellow veteran. That's the thing. I could understand, because you guys have so many candidates running in this race. I mean, let's face it, 5, 6, 7, however dang many you guys have, okay? I could understand if a non-veteran was going to call you out on your record, if they were going to allege certain things about your record, about your service. But for this coming from a fellow veteran, I'm sorry, like you just said, you don't do this in public, number one. Number two, you don't do it for political gain. And number three, you just don't do it to a fellow veteran.
Exactly. And the other thing that's I wanted to mention here is when I was a member of Congress, in the next congressional building was the liaison office for the military affairs, where every branch of service was represented there, and they put out a book. And in that book, they listed, and they said that I was the most decorated and the only member of Congress who served in both Vietnam and Iraq, which gives me a good perspective on, how troops are, what it's about to be a soldier.
Right.
And they published that in a book. So they check the records. They know better than anybody because they have the capabilities to get at a moment's notice to find out whether or not you're telling the truth. And if that wasn't true, they would not have listed in that book the 27 awards I received, plus and mentioned, I'm the only member of Congress who served in both Vietnam and Iraq.
Exactly. Well, we appreciate you being on the show and allowing me to vent a little bit of my frustration. Kerry Bentivolio for Congress. Kerry, thanks a lot. We'll talk to you soon.